Hey guys, it's Will Potato Strong. I'm going to make a hash brown omelet today. So you know how, normally omelets are eggs and then there's filling like green pepper, onions, and tomatoes or whatever inside, mushrooms and stuff like that. And then people, for vegans, they use a chickpea flour and they make a chickpea omelet. But I'm going to use, being Potato Strong, I'm going to use shredded hash browns that I grill on a like a George Foreman or Cuisinart grill. You could also bake them on a Silpat sheet, but I'm using this Cuisinart 5-in-1 grill, and then I'm going to put the onions, green pepper, spinach inside and fold it over. So I'll show you that next. Let's check that out. So here I shred some potatoes. I'm just using like a, what they call a cheese grater, and just doing it by hand. You can also get shredded hash browns sometimes at the grocery store with no oil. There's different ways you can shred the potatoes, but here I rinse them out after they're shredded and squeeze out the extra water. Here I am laying out the hash browns on a Cuisinart 5-in-1 griddle. You can use a waffle iron or bake them in the oven as well. People use George Foreman, and if you do it in the oven, you do it like my potatoes, my baked fries. You just lay them out on a Silpat nonstick or parchment paper and bake at 450 for probably at least 20 minutes, somewhere around there, 20 to 30 minutes. And squeeze out a lot of the water. That'll speed it up, but this is great. And this takes about 20 minutes. You have to watch until they start to brown and cook nice. And in the meantime, I start cutting up some vegetables. You can put whatever you like in your omelet. I'm going to put red pepper, green pepper, onions, and spinach in mine. Some people like to use, add mushrooms. Oh yeah, the other thing I'm going to put in is some fresh tomatoes. So I'm not going to fry them up, but I'm going to add the fresh chopped tomatoes at the end. So yeah, feel free to go crazy with whatever vegetables you like, and I'll show you me when I fry them up in a second here. But another thing that I thought of, people usually have with an omelet is cheese. I don't use the diet cheeses and stuff like that, but you can use cheese sauce. There's lots of cheese sauce recipes you can find out there. I've got one that's made with sweet potato and nutritional yeast and other things you can check out. And you can also use like a regular potato with carrot. So you cook the potato and the carrots and you blend them together with some nutritional yeast, garlic, onion powder. And I've got a recipe on my website for cheese sauce. I'll put a link to that on the video. And you can pour that in at the end before you fold over the omelet. But yeah, there's so many options here. And for frying, okay, so here's the spinach. I usually add that near the end of the cooking process. So I'm going to add some onion. What I've been doing lately for quite a few months now, I just put the onions on a hot skillet without any water at first, and that tends to bring out the sugars in the onions, which is really nice. It starts to brown, and then when I add the water, the water becomes a nice brown liquid. You can use veggie stock or veggie stock powder as well to to the liquid. And then here once the onions cook a little bit, I'll add some red and green pepper and put some water in. I cook this at pretty much high temperature and stir quite a bit. And if the water sort of evaporates, you can add some more, just a little bit more. Near the last couple of minutes when the vegetables are close to being softened, I add some spinach. And those kind of wilt down and pretty quickly within a minute or so. And I'll cover that. So here I am. I've got the cooked veggies, and I've laid out the omelet on the potato omelet, and I'm going to put the veggies on one half. And if you're going to use cheese sauce, you could put that on there as well. Pour that on after the veggies are added. And I'm going to also put on some fresh tomatoes. You can sort of see them there on the cutting board. Once I lay out these veggies, then I put some fresh tomatoes on, and then you just fold it over. And you can put, ketchup on there. With the potatoes, when you shred them, you can add, spices if you like garlic powder, onion powder, or you know, salt and things like that optionally. And there you go. That looks really great, eh? Hope you guys like that. Hey guys, it's Will. I'm back. Just thought I'd show you this amazing omelet. And this is using shredded hash browns. So I know some people have made chickpea flour, but this is great. Just shredded potatoes. And hope you guys really enjoy that. I'm going to eat that right now, so we'll talk to you guys later.